Hi there, I'm Andre from Peak Motorcycles and I'm here at EICMA 2024 and I'm here at the Moto Morini stand. Now if you're not familiar with Moto Morini, I think they first sort of rebranded or were first available a couple of years ago, and they had their Xcape 650 based around I think an old ER6 engine. Since then, yeah, they've had quite a few interesting bikes. I think last year their Corsaro Sport based around a new 750 V-twin was pretty interesting. So I've come back this time to see their new Xcape 700 that's just launched. We've got the Xcape 1200 which is coming to the UK, and then I saw this over my shoulder, which is their Altrhike, I think that's how you pronounce it. Maybe the name needs a little bit of work, but it does look interesting to me. So this is another 450cc, I guess adventure slash trail bike. It's 170 kilos dry, 18 litre fuel tank. So yeah, I'll show you a close-up of it, but actually that looks really interesting to me. Maybe it's just my sort of thing. So this is it. This is the Altrhike by Moto Morini. And I think that looks really good in the red and white. It's got a 450cc parallel twin. It's got tubeless wheels. It's got a 21-inch front wheel. From the front end, it does have that high-level sort of enduro-looking mudguard, but then with the spotlights and the daytime running lights built in, I think that looks pretty imposing. Coming down looking underneath, yeah, we have that pretty substantial bash guard. If that comes as standard, that would be pretty cool. It's got the Morini branding on the engine. There are some sort of side crash bars, except they are inside the fairing, which won't help that much. Coming up and just having a look on the dash, it's a super bright sort of portrait dashboard that's in there. We have fully adjustable forks there coming down the back. It's got these very thick rubber pads in the toothed pegs, which will probably make it great both on and off-road. Looking under there, you can see the rear shock. It's quite a nice looking exhaust. I mean, you know, and it's a daft thing to point out, but a lot of these stock exhausts, just like they've been bolted on, and even that tail tidy is pretty cool. If it comes with the rear rack as well, and these are all factored in with the weight, so a lot of these bikes that it might be compared with don't have rear racks, don't have bash guards, and everything else that goes with it. So if you get all of that as part of the package, that really would be quite cool. So yeah, I really like the look of that. Well done, Moto Morini. So up here on the stage, they have the Tremezzo, the 3.5, which was the old Moto Morini that they have there on display. And then here they have the new version of it, which has got that lovely Moto Morini candy apple paint job on it. It is a 350 V-twin, which I think is super cool. I mean, again, I really like that. It's going to come down to how they're priced. But I think a 350 is just a nice displacement. You know, if that comes exactly looking like that out of the box at a reasonable price, I think that will do really well. You know, we don't get a lot of 350s in the UK, which is a shame. You know, it's more than quick enough to do motorways, and they certainly look pretty cool around town. I mean, that one does have clip-ons, but it also looks like quite nice ergonomics because the bars are higher than the seat. Over on this side, we have the Corsaro from last year, which again, that 750cc V-twin. We also have the Corsaro Sport, which was one of my favourite bikes from last year. Still hasn't quite made it to the UK, but I'm sure it will come in due course. In here we have the Corsaro GT, which is a new bike, which is still that same 750 platform, and I think that looks really cool. I think that would be, you know, a worthy adversary to, I suppose, something like the Multistrada, the small Multistrada. Coming around here we have the Xcape 1200, and that is the next one of these to come into the UK. And I think that is actually quite a nice bike as well. There aren't that many big displacement bikes around at the moment, I must admit. That's been a busy sector for the adventure bike market for a long time. It's nice to see something new, even if I do feel that there's probably more interest in the lower displacements these days. This is also a 1200 in the black. It's 245 kilos as it comes, sort of wet weight, which is, I guess, comparable to a GS or a Triumph Tiger 1200, something like that. And here it is again in red with the luggage. So it's a 1200cc V-twin. Makes around 125 horsepower, which may not sound like a lot, but that's what the BMW 1200 GS made. And yeah, I think that looks like a very well put together bike, and I'm sure it'll find its market, especially if it's priced well. What we have here is the Xcape 700, which I guess is their new version of the 650. It's available in black and white. I'm guessing it's just had an uprated engine. It's probably Euro 5 Plus compliant, because that's going to be needed here in Europe from the 1st of January next year. It's got a nice big clear dash, even just little touches like having that bar up there for the nav, Comes with USB chargers, it's got a bash guard on the bottom of it. Going around the front, I think that screen might be, oh no, there is some adjustment on the screen as well. Now, it's not a particularly lightweight thing, it's a 693cc parallel twin. Dry weight is 213 kilos, wet weight is 245. What I would say is it looks like that does have a super low seat on it, and I think that looks pretty cool. Coming around the back, it's got this built-in luggage rack with the handles, coming up and over the bike, over that low seat, big wide bars, and that nice looking dash. Not sure that the knobbly tyres do much for it, but still, good effort all round. Just to show you a few of the Calibro cruisers they have here. They have that one in the red, on the black, and then they have one more here that's sort of done out like a bagger. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's the styling will appeal to some. I'm not entirely sure that's my sort of thing. I can see where they're going with that fairing at the front. But yeah, it's probably, well, looking at the pricing here, it looks like it's 7,000 euros for the standard one. No pricing here for the bagger, but I suppose for 7,000 euros, what's that, 6,000 pounds? If you're after a bobber, or if you're short in the leg, maybe that is something to look at. I was getting all excited by the Tremezzo they have on the other side, but this is the Tremezzo. This has got that 650 engine done here as kind of a street scrambler, and then a more sort of naked bike over there. It's quite nice with some retro touches. It's got the spoke wheels on it. The gold forks and the black look really nice. The bash pad on the bars there. So yeah, I think that MotoMorini have got some really interesting looking bikes. I am still very interested in this Altrhike. I think that looks really tasty, and it's just brilliant to see these smaller displacement bikes coming back into popularity. You know, I think between this and the Tremezzo, I think that MotoMorini really are onto a winner. That is it. That is my video from the MotoMorini stand here at EICMA 2024. I really like what they're doing. I loved the Corsaro Sport last year. I love that Tremezzo V-twin 350. And I do also quite like the look of that Altrhike. Not a big fan of the name, but do like the look of the bike, 450. You know, it's just nice to see some more adventure bikes in that sort of weight and probably price class coming out. It's going to become increasingly competitive, but that can only be a good thing. So I hope that's been interesting and useful. If it has been, please check out my other content here from here at EICMA, and maybe I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.